All right, so for years, if you talked about streaming in India, the conversation was pretty much dominated by the big global names, Netflix, Amazon, the usual suspects. But something else has been brewing just under the surface. A revolution, really, that is totally reshaping the entertainment scene there. We're talking about the incredible rise of regional, language-specific streaming services. And when I say incredible, I really mean it. Just look at this number. In the last 3 years alone, paid subscribers for these regional platforms have jumped by a staggering 200%. That's not just growth, that's a full-blown explosion. It's a huge signal that what Indian audiences want and how they watch it is fundamentally changing. Which brings us to the big question, right? How in the world did these smaller, local players manage to go head-to-head with global giants and win over millions and millions of viewers? Well, the answer is a really fascinating mix of culture, community, and some very, very smart strategy.
So first, let's just zoom in on the boom itself, because we're not talking about some tiny niche market here. This is quickly becoming the new mainstream for a massive part of the country.
For the longest time, Indian entertainment was pretty much synonymous with one thing: Bollywood, Hindi language films. But what's happening now is this massive embrace of content made in people's own languages, whether that's Telugu, Tamil, Bengali, Malayalam, you name it. It's a whole new wave that's all about celebrating stories from every single corner of the nation.
And to really get why this is happening, you first have to understand India itself. Its greatest strength is its incredible diversity, and that's a reality that, honestly, the big global platforms kind of struggled to wrap their heads around at first.
And that leads us to the secret weapon for these regional services, this idea of hyper-local content. Now, this isn't just about taking a Hollywood movie and dubbing it. Oh no, this is about creating stories from a specific culture for that exact culture. It's media that just feels like home.
This chart tells you everything you need to know. Sure, Hindi is the most spoken language, but it's still used by less than half the population. Now look at that other slice, 34%. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people. There's just no way a single media strategy can work for this entire, wonderfully complex country. It's a market made up of many, many powerful niches.
So you can really see the difference in approach here. The global giants, they tried this one-size-fits-many model. They focused on Hindi and English and sprinkled in a few regional things. But the regional players, they went deep. They decided to master just one language, build these huge libraries of local films, and create original shows that really get the cultural nuances, the stuff that just gets lost in translation with dubbing.
Okay, so how exactly did they pull it off? This was no accident. As you're about to see, there was a very specific and pretty brilliant playbook that tapped right into what the market was hungry for.
Here it is, pretty much broken down into 3 key steps. First, tell hyper-local stories. Stories that get the local festivals, the family jokes, the traditions. Second, build up local stars. Instead of just banking on big Bollywood names, they created their own universe of famous actors. And third, and this was a total game changer, make it ridiculously affordable.
Now this quote, yeah, it's from a fictional CEO, but man, does it hit the nail on the head. It is all about authenticity. It's the difference between being an outsider looking in and actually being part of the community you're creating for. And that connection, that's something viewers can feel, and it builds incredible loyalty.
And then you have the price. This is a massive, massive deal. Just look at this chart. A global service might set you back $7 a month. A regional one, it averages just $1. That's not a small discount. That's a completely different approach designed to reach a much, much wider audience.
In fact, a lot of these plans cost even less than $1 a month. Seriously, think about that. At that price, streaming isn't a luxury anymore. It becomes a super accessible part of daily life for tens of millions of people. It basically democratizes access to really good content. So, what does all this add up to for the future? Well, this whole shift is creating a brand new media landscape in India, and maybe for the rest of the world too. You've got this ripple effect that touches everyone. For viewers, it means more choice in seeing stories that actually reflect their lives. For local creators, writers, directors, actors, it means a massive new stage to showcase their talent. For the global giants, it means they have to seriously rethink how they do things. And for India as a whole, it means a stronger, way more diverse creative economy. And this is why it matters on a global scale. This whole hyperlocal model could absolutely be a blueprint for other culturally diverse countries, from Nigeria to Indonesia. It's a powerful challenge to this old idea of a single globalized culture. Which leaves us with this one last, really big question to chew on. As audiences everywhere demand more authentic, more culturally specific stories, are we actually watching the end of an era, that was dominated by just a handful of global media companies. The story's still being written, for sure, but India's streaming revolution strongly suggests the future is local.